Greetings and salutations for the first Chat Friday. Chat Friday is just for you guys to relax, to listen, to practice your listening, because I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk as much as I can here. I'm not gonna hold my English back. I'm just gonna use everything that I know and just be talking to you guys. Some of you actually asked how I learned English or how Tibia helped me to learn English or to improve it. So everything started here. This is the Super Downloads website, and this is super old. As you can see, I'm using a Wayback Machine here, and it's August 2nd, 2002. I actually knew Tibia. I met Tibia way before that, like months before that. But here we are. And if you're as old as I am, you would also be impressed with what we're looking at right now. And whenever we wanted to play games, we would go to this website. And this is superdownloads.com.br, and back in the day it was ubi.com.br, but no problem. Here are the categories of games, and we would just go ahead and click on games, and we would see whatever was trending. Like here we have the best games of the week. America's Army, I remember it was a first-person shooter, an FPS game. Based in the America's Army. It was fun. I used to like it. The graphics were great, and Quake 3 Arena was so good. But let's talk about Tibia. So I remember I always loved RPGs, so I clicked on RPGs, and these are the most played RPGs here. Diablo 2 demo. My gosh. But then we would keep going ahead, and eventually we would go to page 5, and then we would find Tibia 7.0. So yeah, guys, that's it. Tibia 7.0. All right, so let me go ahead and show you what happens if you start Tibia 6 point something. This is what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Fossil. Fossil is an odd server or open Tibia server based on very, very old Tibia. But this is how I first met Tibia. I remember these graphics, and I remember the character wouldn't even move. This, which is like so absurd, right? But no, it was based on the game Ultima 6. And it used to be exactly like this. And so this is my character over here. So I remember this is slightly older. This is really from the 90s, but I used to play this in 2002. The characters would actually move like this, and Rookguard would really look like this, but a few sprites used to be different. But let's just go ahead and play the game. I need to show you something. The most important thing from this game, the most important thing was the social interactions. We used to interact a lot with players, like a lot. And Rookguard was crowded, full of players, packed. So whenever I came here to the sewers, and I would try to hunt a rat, it would be full of players, filled with players. And it was very difficult to get a level, very difficult. So it was very normal to find this place full of people, There were like people hanging out here, just talking, people selling maces, or katanas, or copper shields, you name it. This is Seymour Academy. Look how different it is. But what I want to tell you is what happens here. Let me change the color of my arrow. So like this is a place, guys. This was my favorite place by far in Rookguard. So let's go. Oh yeah. exactly the way it used to look. Oh my gosh. Amber's room. This is Amber, isn't her? And yeah, Amber. See over here? Amber, healthy. We never knew how much HP an NPC would have. We just knew it was healthy or barely wounded, or heavily wounded and nearly dead and dead. I think it was this. I might be wrong. But guys, this place, 24/7, this place was crowded, filled with players. See, there's so many players here. It was beautiful to see that. And there was always a player trying to play a game that we used to call Fast Hands. And Fast Hands, if you remember, or even if you don't, it's a game all about speed. A player would stand here, another player would stand over there, and then that player would place an item over here, and then one player would drag the item to the center table and then pull it back. If the other player managed to get that object, that player would would actually get that object for himself. Very interesting. And so it was a way to gamble. Very cool. So you used to do something like this. Let me try it. Oh, see, I was always terrible at playing Fast Hands. I used to lose all the time. And of course, I used to play in the server of Nova. So if you know what I mean, it's it was not located in America, not located in Brazil or the United States. It was located in Europe. So man, that was very difficult for me because I used to lose it all the time. And another thing, we didn't have Brazilians playing this game. We actually did, especially because of the Super Downloads website. However, we were minority. Normally players would approach us and ask Po or Sue, and asking if we were either from Poland or Sweden, and we would just say BR. And back in the day, this was not a problem. We didn't have a bad reputation, because I'm sorry guys, we do have a bad reputation in MMORPGs, especially because not because of this, but it's a meme. It's a known meme. The way we used to laugh. And guys, this was so interesting. And players would come over here and show off their best gear, and people would be talking. And whenever we had to trade, we just couldn't trade using a safe method. We just had to use trust. All right, you want my club? And then people would just say hey, you first. No, you first. And normally if you're willing to buy, you would have to put your money up front. You have to pay up front, which means pay up first. One more thing. I have two more things to say. Just Chat Friday, guys. Super relaxing. Train your listening skills. I'm not holding myself back. Just, using my English here. I'm practicing my English. Like I told you, my English is not perfect, but we can make it work, right? So this libraries, and remember the oracle, right? No oracle. Whenever you reached level 8, you would come to this room over here and pick stairs. And if I double click on the sign, see Path of the Knight, another one, Path of the Sorcerer, Path of the Druid, or Path of the Paladin. Oops. Now I'm gonna pick a knight. Normally I pick the knight, and this would be a teleport to Thais. There were no veneer. I remember there was Carlin back in the day. And did I say there were no veneer? There was no veneer. See, my English is not perfect. However, let's see what happens if I try to come here. You're not strong yet. I remember that. And it would never tell you which level you had to take, like have to reach. It never told me that. But of course, it was common sense. People knew it. People would always say, get level 8. And then, oh, okay, level 8. And it would take ages to get level 8 in Brookart because it was so popular. We only had 3 servers, Antica, Nova, and Premium. So it was crowded. And one more thing, guys, as you can see, if you look at the this part here of the screen, that's actually the interface. This is very accurate. It used to look like this. Oh my gosh, I got scared now. I thought it was a player, but it was just like Seamer. Wow. So we didn't have channels like help channel or NPC channel. It's just a single channel. And if we wanted to announce what we had, because there was no trade channel, we used to say Shiva, Ishana. Man, I have to remember. I have here. It was the Ishizamas. I had it like in a different website. Ishizamas, and then send a message. See, like it popped up because it did a little puff, right? Poof. I'm trying to say Ishizamas and something else. I know I'm in front of the chat over here, but Ishizamas, and then it would puff like poof. So no, you can't send it. You need magic level 4. So if you were a knight back in the day, you would suffer to trade, or at least to announce something to the whole world. So back in the day, we had to use so much English to interact, to trade items, or to do whatever. The game was harder. I believe the game's much easier today. The game's not easy. I think the game's pretty fair. But I think the game used to be quite ruthless back in the day. And it was very hardcore. No blessings. No blessings. You would lose 10% of everything you've gotten. And it was really cruel. And it was the beginning of my journey, guys. My English, I was just learning English, and I started to say hi. I started to say trade. I started to use buy, offer, no, buy. And it started with simple words, which became sentences, which became paragraphs, or just fluid talking. My friends, I really miss those days. Those days were incredible. But Tibia is still out there, and I'm glad I'm still able to play this wonderful game. Yes, the game is wonderful, guys. The game is incredible. There's so many things to talk about this game, so every Friday I'll be using this time to just talk about the game, say how I feel about it, and using the best English that I can use. I've made some mistakes today, but I just try to speak as natural as I can, and I had fun, guys. It was really nice to record this video. So my friends, thank you so much for your time, for being here with me, for being part of this with me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for everything. See you guys around. Bye bye.